I'm Pete Crowley. I am the Director of Fermentation here at the Haymarket Pub and Brewery in the Haymarket Square in the West Loop. The craft brew scene when we opened in 2010 was growing. It's been a really fun journey for me to not only open my own company and have my own company grow, but just seeing all the other people that I'd met along the way and see their growth.
Without a space like this, Spiteful Brewing would not be here.
The plan was to start small, think big, develop our brand, develop who we are, get everything up and running, and then evolve from there.
We had to learn how to operate a brewery, how to operate a business, how to distribute on this scale, which allowed us the ability to make mistakes and learn as we grow. And then it evolved into what we have today, where we support 4 people full-time. We're bursting at the seams and ready to take the next step.
I'm Kevin Carey, co-owner of Begal Brewing in North Center, a neighborhood of Chicago. Part of the reason why we opened our business was because of the legislation that changed back in 2011 to allow for self-distribution. Without that, I don't know if we would have seen the explosive growth that's taken place in the last 5 to 8 years. In the beginning, we were only brewing 2 barrels at a time. Today, we have a 10-barrel brew house in place here. We will be adding a 30-barrel brew house later this year at a second facility.
I'm Tommy Vasilakis, one of the brewers and founders of Brickstone Brewery. We started as a brew pub. We weren't at other bars and restaurants and grocery stores. As the demand for a beer grew, it started putting thoughts in our head as, hey, if these people are asking for a beer, what could we do to get it to them? So we started talking about our new facility in 2012 and finally completed the project September of last year. Going from a 10-barrel brew house where we brewed 100 barrels in a month, and now we could do 150 barrels in a day here. Without the people in the community, we wouldn't have grown to where we are. We knew they believed in us and we were ready to grow.
Gabriel Magliaro. I'm one of the guys that started Half Acre. It was in my bedroom at one point and moved on to a crappy office, and then this brewery that we're in right now, and we've been fortunate enough to build a second brewery. We've been making beer there a little over a year now. Thinking about how we would grow over time, it was, how are things going? And people are sucking beer out of our brewery like crazy. Can we make more of it so that we can honor the relationships that we have? And that was always the driver, that there was a pull there. It made sense to fuel that pull.
We always had talked about a number 2. Initially, it was a second brew pub. And as we grew, we decided we wanted to open up a production facility, canning line, bottling line, larger brewery, but also still maintain the handmade sausages, the fresh sandwiches, the homemade pizzas. We blindly fell into this space in Southwest Michigan that was an old police station. We just fell in love with it, and it works for us in so many levels. A big part of my excitement is the ability to package the beer. Being able to have the 6-pack that can reach more people, and you can take it to the beach, take it on a boat. In 23 years of brewing, I've never had my product in a package that will last 3-4 months. It's always been, hey, drink this week. That's a whole new step for me, and that's what I'm most excited about, is being able to reach more people. I've never been able to have that. Oh, anybody get that?
We looked at places all over the city. We were in the West Loop, we were
Way west side and everything in between.
this place, you look around and it was like, all right, this is it.
It was a martial arts distributor / light manufacturing / we're not really sure. That's not really tall enough to stand, so I don't know if they had kids working up there or...
There's a little weird room up there that we're not sure what happened up there, but...
Financing, planning, it's all a challenge. It's a much bigger space, there's a lot more cost associated with it, there's new equipment that has to come in.
Putting it all on paper to make sure it fits, having the city approve it.
The architects that we were working with were awesome and gave us this board with little cutouts so we can see how things kind of fit together. This allowed us to really play around with each individual component and really get an idea spatially what's going to fit. In our current space, we've survived by making things fit. This is a much more permanent solution, so we want to make sure we measure twice, cut once, so to speak, and get it right the first time.
We've always sort of looked at this idea of growing and what Big Al will become. We are maintaining our day-to-day operations, but we also have to start thinking about what's next. About a year ago, we found this location in Lincolnwood, Illinois, and it fit kind of all the things we were looking for. Tall ceilings, loading docks, available square footage that could become available down the road when, again, you realize that, hey, maybe we didn't rent enough space. So where I'm standing right now is where our future brew house is going to go. It's going to be kind of the first thing you see from the tap room. The tap room will be open to the brewery. We've kind of had to figure out the fire code in Lincolnwood. Chicago burnt down once, so fire code, as a lot of breweries know, is pretty tight, but we're going to use fire shutters to kind of create that atmosphere of the tap room as part of the brewery. If you guys need any beer, one thing that we don't have currently in the city at our location is a loading dock. We get a lot of deliveries during the week, and unfortunately the deliveries tie up the street. So this is a place where we can, park some trucks and unload them at our pace.
When we began to build this brewery, we wanted to keep everything in Bourbonnais, so we looked at a lot of different spots. Where could we go? Where do we want to see our home for the next 10, 20 years? We're actually very close, about a quarter mile from the brew pub. We wanted people to be able to see our system there and then take them across the street to see what the difference is from small-scale brew pub brewing to large-scale production. That's my Uncle Ted. Our cans are made right here down the street. We've probably printed over 1 million cans. We've seen every one of our can runs to date. It's nice to bring the team out there and see what actually goes into the process of printing a can. People come to the brew pub and they had their hand in crafting this beer for us. So even if it was just printing the cans or helping us design the logos, it's a proud moment for all us here to keep our stuff local.
The vision for Half Acre in the early days, we were really interested in where our beer landed. What types of experiences out there did it find its way into? And fast forward to now, it's still that, but we have much greater opportunity to get our beer into a lot more good things happening out in the world because of the scale of our business now. We have a loading bay out here, which I'll take you out there because it's one of my favorite places in the building. We don't have to load trucks in the weather, so this is one of those luxuries that for a lot of businesses is maybe a given, but for us, it's the little stuff, man, but it's huge for us. And the truckers have their own bathroom. Truckers always go to the bathroom. It's a pretty big site, and that for us is about time. It's not about racing towards filling that site, it's about giving ourselves option over the stretch. Yeah, we have a lot more space here, which is exactly the plan. So this allows us to figure it out over the years and obviously become the brewing company we hope to be in the future, but also who knows what else. So we're interested in a lot of things, so we'll see what comes.
The community of craft brewers in the state of Illinois, it's this forum of just knowledge and people just talking to each other. It's a giant reason why we're going to be able to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to be successful.
There's always room for growth in craft beer. I think it's going to keep growing, and I don't even think it's close to its peak yet.
The more knowledgeable everybody is in the industry, the better the beer is. As long as you're putting good quality beer in market, everybody's going to benefit from that.
What we can contribute to Illinois is bringing back that idea that we make things here. I think that is probably the greatest thing that we can accomplish, is maintaining this vibrant economy here in Illinois.
Our industry connects with a ton of other industries, all the different tank manufacturers and raw material suppliers, the bar industry. Everything is doing great right now. So a lot of food is being put on the table because of all this beer that's being made. And as an industry, we have to feel good about that.
The person that will win the most out of all of this is going to be the consumer.
The unique thing about our industry is that the beer is there and it's important, but really at the end of the day, it's really cool to see how our product can bring people together and just make life a little bit better.